What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's late night news roundup, where we're going to debrief from the game against Galatasaray. We're also going to have a little look ahead to the transfer window and what we can expect from the Reds. Tonight we'll be talking about Yan Diamonde, Nico Schlotterbeck and a few others. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know your thoughts, so please do feel free to let me know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, but most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, I'm sure you're probably well aware, but we do have a giveaway running at the minute. We're giving away a signed Kenny Dalglish frame shirt, completely free. All you have to do to enter is join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp and follow the link in the description. You can do so with the QR code there on the screen, and thank you to everyone that has entered so far. Right, I want to start off by giving you my take on that game. You know, my match reaction was a frustrated one, as it has been many times this season. But ultimately, it was just a massive, massive letdown from the players and the manager. That was nowhere near the levels that we need this season. And with that in mind, I went to look to the media to see what they've had to say about it. I've taken a little bit of an excerpt from Sky Sports in one of their articles, and they said one noticeable feature from Liverpool's display was just how reliant they were on set pieces to produce moments of danger. Everything from open play was misjudged or overhit. Even Galatasaray, even if Galatasaray do implode at Anfield next week, which is possible, few teams will fear slot side in the latter stages of the competition. How much of an indictment is that? Few teams will fear Arne Slot's side in the knockout stages. And this is a team that we're supposed to believe could win the Champions League. Now, tonight was another underperforming game for Mohamed Salah, but I didn't realise quite how bad the stats were until I seen that StatMuse post on X that show Mohamed Salah versus Galatasaray, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots, 0 shots on target, 0 big chances created, 0 successful take-ons, 0 through balls, 0 crosses, 0 long balls, just a 0 of a performance. And again, we can say that the managerial change, the personnel in and around him have changed, but doing the basic things that has, well, seeming to have left Mohamed Salah this season. And he wasn't on his own out there tonight. There was terrible performances at the heart of our defence as well. Konate and Van Dijk looked incredibly shaky, and that was something that Sky Sports picked up on in their assessment of the game as well. Touchline have put out a post to say, crazy stat, and this, well, it's crazy, but it's also really angering. So Liverpool have lost 14 games in all competitions this season. 14! Out of 44 games, they've only won 24 in the whole campaign. Losing 14 is a stat that no Liverpool manager should survive. And we aren't even finished the season yet. That's twice this season we've been beaten by Galatasaray away and seemingly haven't learned any lessons. Look, we know it's a difficult place to go. I'm well aware of that. But it is still not good enough that this team go over there and underperform in the way that we did. Jermaine Pennant, former Liverpool player, had this to say: okay, I'm done with Slot now. Played 65 minutes, and the man of the match last game, Rio Enguirieses, didn't see any game time. 87 minutes gone. Every single player has been horrendous, and Rio hasn't come on. Please, anybody tell me and make it make sense. It can't, because there is no sense to it, Jermaine. It's just more stupid decision-making from Arne in a game that was crying out for somebody like Rio Enguirieses to come in and make a difference. Once again, our manager chose not to utilise him. At the heart of the defence as well, it was a really shaky performance from Virgil and Ibu. Both of them have been in good form recently, but today they looked incredibly shaky. But to me, the biggest problem today, ladies and gents, came in the middle of the park. I thought that Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister all left a lot to be desired. Dom huffed and puffed through the game, never really able to grab it by the scruff of the neck. And Ryan just is not a number 6, and I've said this numerous times. I'll never be convinced he is. Yes, we won the league with him playing in that position, but there is no denying the defensive side of his game isn't there. It isn't natural to him. So can we please go out in the summer and bring in an out-and-out number 6? Let's talk about Real Madrid for a minute, because Romano said, breaking, Real Madrid stopped talks with Konate at the end of the year. If he doesn't renew with Liverpool, let's see what will happen. At the moment, it's still on standby, but Real Madrid will be busy with defenders in the summer. I don't know what's going to go on with the situation with Konate, but I do know we need to be ready to act whatever happens. If he stays, grand. If he goes, we need to have a replacement lined up. Now, Dominic King has said that Liverpool are not in for Mickey van de Ven. So it's not looking like he would be one of the players coming in. Now, I wouldn't rule it out completely, but certainly Dominic doesn't seem to believe that Liverpool are interested in signing Mickey van de Ven. He goes on to say, well, the Spurs defender would want to move to Anfield. The feeling is not totally mutual at this moment in time. Spurs were absolutely destroyed again tonight in Europe. It was 5-2 last time I checked away against Atletico Madrid. Bayern Munich absolutely dismantled Atalanta as well. And Newcastle had a heartbreaking 1-1 draw there with Barcelona, conceding the penalty kick with the last kick of the game. So it is finally poised in many ties in Europe. Some of them are over already. The Bayern Munich game, that's over. The Spurs game, that's pretty much over. For Liverpool, yes, I do think there is a chance that we can turn this round at Anfield. But as Sky Sports said in their piece, no team's going to be looking at Liverpool and fearing playing Liverpool in the Champions League this season. And I think it's true. It's horrible to admit that as a Liverpool fan, and I do think that the quality of the players that we have at the club is better than we're seeing out there on the pitch. I don't want to absolve the players of responsibility whatsoever because they underperformed out there. I don't know what Arne's instructions were, but it seems to be that he can't get a tune out of these players, and that in itself will surely have to lead to a change. Now, one bright spark to finish up this video. Team Talk have said that RB Leipzig winger Jan DIAMONDE tops Liverpool's list to boost their attack this summer and remains their undisputed #1 target. And look, we should do everything to try and get this kid. I don't know whether he'll be able to take the burden of Mohamed Salah's role, let's say, but I do think he'd be an adequate replacement for the lack of an option on the left outside of Cody Gakpo. And even if Rio goes to play on the left, then Jan DIAMONDE could certainly operate on the right. Very two-footed, very good. I've spent a lot of time looking into him over the past week or two. Really been impressed at what I've seen of him. Still don't believe that he's yet a €100 million player from one season really performing in the Bundesliga at the top level. But there is no denying his talent. There's no denying that he has something about him. And I certainly hope that Liverpool act and bring him in. One thing I want to emphasise again though is if we lose one of Gakpo and Salah, the other one won't be going. Liverpool don't want to have too much change in their forward line this summer. You can agree or disagree with that. I don't know what the right thing to do here is, but I can understand it. I think the likelihood is that Gakpo will remain at the club and Salah will leave. But the question I think on everybody's lips is this situation with Mohamed Salah solely down to him not getting on with Arne? Because I struggle to think it's still down to the change in personnel. We're most of the way through a season here and they should have had time to gel and work it out at this point. So I guess the question is, if an Alonso or somebody else came in, would we see a revitalisation of Mo, or has Father Time unfortunately just caught up with him? Unfortunately, I fear it is the latter, but I still don't think he's happy out there. And a few weeks ago, he looked like his smiley self playing at Anfield, but away from home. There's been a couple of times where I've suggested to you guys that it feels like in the home games, he's really trying to soak in and savour every moment at Anfield. But in the away games, he just doesn't seem to look as involved. And tonight, he was just a shadow of himself out there. From start to finish, it was just sad to see. It really isn't the man that we've all known and loved for the last 7 or 8 years. So, ladies and gents, that's pretty much it from us tonight. The preview for the game coming up the weekend will be out a little bit later in the week. We do have the player ratings video and the match reaction up for you now, and Connor will be here in the morning with a news video. But thank you all for your incredible support. Look forward to reading your comments and your thoughts on the game, and let us know your thoughts on the likes of Nico Schlotterbeck, who actually, I just realised I haven't yet covered in this video, but Nico Schlotterbeck, according to reports tonight, is on Liverpool's radar. Apologies, I've almost gone through my notes and forgot that one. But Nico Schlotterbeck, according to reports tonight, is somebody that Liverpool are interested in. It's a bit of a difference in reporting from Bild, who said the other day that Liverpool weren't in from. But the reports now coming in that Liverpool are interested in bringing in Nico Schlotterbeck. I'm looking to find this exact quote right now for you so I can bring it to you, but I don't seem to have it in my notes right in front of me. But yes, reporting is that Nico Schlotterbeck is of interest to Liverpool. This coming in from Jorge C. Picon, who said Liverpool want to try and bring him in. And they've gone as far as to say that Arne Slot has actually spoken a little bit with Nico Schlotterbeck, which, as I said, is very much at odds with what we've seen from Bild yesterday, saying Liverpool aren't interested. I'm going to try my best to find out for you. If Canade leaves, I definitely think somebody of the Schlotterbeck ilk would be exactly what we need. But if Canade stays, maybe the club do look to another young centre-back. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments. It looks like about 50 50 million euro would be the fee it would take to get Schlotterbeck. And again, Real Madrid's name has been mentioned as being interested in him. Again, with the Canade situation, I don't know what way this goes. I don't know where Madrid's heads are at. I don't know where Canade's heads are. But I do know we're getting to that time of the season now where Liverpool need to make a call one way or the other so we can start to plan for the summer and for what is going to be a shortened summer, don't forget, with the World Cup. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is really it for this video, and thank you again for your support. I look forward to reading your comments. See you tomorrow. Much love.